Alrighty, what are we doing today? Everybody, welcome back to the show. This is my Toyota Land Cruiser LC70 body on my Trail Finder 2 long wheelbase. Now, you guys actually watched me do a speed build of this body a few months ago, and you're actually asking, where has this truck gone? But really what I've been doing, apart from out being filming and going to trail events and different things like that, is I'm actually waiting on the proper mounting kit for it. And I figured today, just so I can get this truck up and moving in upcoming videos here, we'd install this kit. Now, I did see people actually fabricating their own chassis mounts to axial bodies or to axial chassis and whatnot. And some folks have actually done a really good job. But for this build itself, I wanted to see what the actual mounting kit looked like. Now, I don't know if this version 1 is still available. I know that version 2 is on the way if it's not here already. I know Asia Tees actually sells this. This is actually where I got this one, as well as RC4WD Drive actually offers a complete kit build with this one as well. So, as far as I know, in version 2, the plastics are going to be much tougher, and I was experiencing some cracking issues when I was putting this one together, as I had mentioned in the film. So I wanted to make sure it was mounted properly so we didn't have any weak points, or we'll discover together today if it is actually a good mounting kit. For those wondering, this is part number Z-S1782. Let's see what's in the bag. I'm so happy to see this. This is one thing we don't see enough in the RC hobby. When you get parts, actual instructions on how to assemble them. Nice. Hopefully more RC companies get on board with their parts that are custom and take a few minutes to actually make a sheet. Even if it's just a piece of printed paper, it can be helpful. So what are we looking at here? Here I'm holding it upside down while I'm looking at the camera. Most motors may require removal of the shaded area for clearance. Okay, I'll have to look at that, which would be underneath here. Let's have a look at what's in these bags here. So, 2 half containers. I imagine that's for the ESC. Not sure what that one's for. Cross member, cross brace. This actually looks like a transmission mount. Yeah, a bolt goes right there. A back brace, and also what looks like to be a extension here, but I'm only guessing because here I was talking about the great instructions. Had a look at the instructions here, and I don't see anything about moving a motor. On the other hand, is it 2-page? No, just thick paper. I guess we're going to figure it out one way or another, unless I'm just overlooking something. That some motors may require removal of the shaded clearance. Okay, but it doesn't talk about moving the transmission or anything. Might as well get started. First thing that I'm supposed to do is remove this back battery box. They also want me to remove these side rails, which I'll look at doing because it's a big pain in the butt to get in there to undo these again. But I guess not too bad. I'll just take off the top plate here and get into all 4 of these screws. Also, I want to be taking off, if I had the front bumper on, which I don't. And is there anything else highlighted? Oh yeah, the back posts, which I don't have on because I was waiting, and as well the back bumper. So most of my job is done already. It's just a matter of putting it together and figuring out what the heck this and this is for. Yeah, so it's been pretty windy. We had a huge storm here yesterday with about 60-mile-an-hour winds out on the prairie here. And in fact, one of our old driver stands blew right over a big wooden one we have right by the shop, so it's been obliterated. I'm sure I'll show you guys in the next few days. But all in all, the family's okay, everybody's okay. We fared the weather and got through the power outage and all that stuff. And there's one right in the corner there. Probably one in the other corner. So then we can remove the back battery box. Why am I having a hard time saying that? Back battery box. There we are. How many of you just repeated what I said? Back battery box 5 times. Comment below, let me know. All right, so I might as well take off these side rails, even though I really wanted them on there. Is there just no way to fit it? They must like inhibit the body from sinking down properly. So I may as well just remove it now. Doesn't take too much. I didn't Loctite any of this because I knew that I had plenty of steps to go still. I don't mind backtracking a little bit. Get my servo out of the way. This would be a great drill job. I get these bits from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the video description box below. Everybody wonders about these team associated factory team bits that I run. They always ask, where do I get them? So now you guys know at least. We got a whole bunch of bits in the end. Handy on the trail. Battery straps, remove the plate. Then I can get in. I'm actually gonna hand turn this one just so I don't have any issues with stripping out the screws. Gently move it up and away. You can see I can pop the whole thing out right here. This is the motor and scale 2-speed transmission. If you guys are new viewers to the show, I'll actually put a link up in the video description box if you're interested in this kit itself. That way you can find out some more about this scale truck or some others that are out there as well. But I can put this off to the side. This would be the time to figure out if I needed this extension piece, hey, I would figure, as well as the new mounting pieces on this side. So if I actually have a look at that, is it any different? Does it look different? It does. Yeah, this certainly does look a little different. Again, I didn't see anything in the instructions. Maybe I'm missing a sheet or maybe I just didn't look close enough, but we'll find out together. Let's get rid of these side body posts. There, all but this one right here. This out of the way, transmission, good, all the screws. Don't need the body posts, can take them, put them off to the side for a different truck if I need them. Then it looks like number 2 is install the shock mount cross member on the back. So we're going to be removing this cross member as well, this middle one. So let's take these shocks. Again, just kind of back it off. It's not such a hard job because I didn't use any Loctite yet. Off the dampeners. Last screw. Pops out through the bottom because it is inside a ladder frame that is quite thick. It does have a channel that it slides into, so we're going to remove this one. Grab the crossmember brace. Their holes are supposed to be on the front side. Slide that in through the bottom. Just basically going in reverse here. Putting the screw back in. Okay, so the remounting of the dampeners, I'm going to put it in just to start it off with on the second hole in. Looks like there's 4 adjustment spaces that you can have. I'm going to tighten them up using the hand driver, though I will be back inside here to use the Loctite later. Nice. Nice leaf spring or leaf sprung suspension. The oil is set up well in these dampeners, so it actually has a nice feel to it. Took out one of the screws earlier in this cross member. I'm actually just going to move this to the other side now. Come on out of there. It's stuck in there real good. May even have to back these off a little bit here. Probably pinching it too tight. There we go. Come on. This one here, from what the instructions say, is actually going to go, that's very interesting. It shows 2 holes on this side, but there is only 1. Do we need to drill a hole? I don't think so. It doesn't show anything. That's very interesting. And it's supposed to be a threaded hole. Interesting. I wonder if I can still use this second one here, because this one's channel locked, so that's where that one's supposed to go, and then there's two. So that's very interesting. So the instructions show another hole when there isn't. No problem. So basically this bar here is going to be what supports the ESC and receiver tray. Or maybe not the ESC, maybe it's just the receiver tray. Now that I see on the instructions it says RX. Beautiful. So there's two sizes of these boxes. They're not closed. In fact, they kind of look like a shovel or a scoop from a loader. But it's the little one that I want right now. And this one supposedly is for the receiver, like I was mentioning. What size of screw? 8 mil, okay. Alrighty, next step itself, number 4. Number 5 is install the ESC plate and cross member. Cross member, where did you go? I guess it's the cross member that's already installed. And this one they want right up here. So yeah, that's what it is. I believe is that this cross member right here gets scooted up to here. Again, I've got to back all this off, kind of loosen it up. Same with this one. There we go. Back, or I guess it's towards the front. The front box. Lesson to myself, stop tightening everything on one side. It's too tight to get her in there. All right, and a little bit more room right here. And can I get the black box in there? Come on. What if I angle it or just slide it back? Can I get it down low enough? Yes, and yes. Awesome. Installed. Okay, what's the next one? Install the body mounts. Alrighty. Body mount number 1 goes on the back bumper right here. And it looks like nothing I have except this piece. That's the back body mount, okay? So I'm going to be removing the actual cross member for the back bumper. Just taking it at a calm pace today, really not needing to rush ahead on anything. You know, enjoying the hobby. I always do, but sometimes it's just a matter of getting by yourself or wherever you want and just taking things systematically, and the feeling of accomplishment at the end is certainly something I enjoy. Still haven't seen anything about the motor or transmission mount, but that's okay. And the bracket goes up front, right in here. I just want to make sure I'm looking at this properly. And which way do the hangers go? They go in towards the body, so you can see they've got a bit of a hanger on the end. That's going to go on the inside. There we go, just had to get it in the right spot. Now just to make sure that it's in there but not too tight, I'll go back with my hand driver. Yeah, it's plenty tight for me. Yep. Okay, so that's installed, great. So that was all of step 6. Now install the body, it says. Just that easy. But obviously I have to put the plate back and the transmission. See, that's it. That's the only part of the instruction. So I really don't know what the heck the extra mount is for and what the extra drive shaft is for. I guess I'll figure it out sooner or later though. Everybody's already posted in the video comment section what it's for anyway. But let's see what I can do to go back here and put this back together. Maybe I'll discover when I put the body on that it all needs to be done again. Right through there. And transmission is all remounted. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, hand tight for now. Battery straps are in a good spot. So the ESC will basically get strapped in right in this back open area. Thankfully, I have a waterproof ESC in there. I guess you guys would have to be waterproofing your own ESC or have a waterproof ESC if you want to have a setup like this, because that's the plate that it comes with. Well, it looks like you guys can use this as well. So if you do need the protected one that's covered, the option is there. That's good to know. Kind of figuring it out with you here. So like that, I'll strap in all these ones with some zip ties. Let's get it all cleaned up, just like that. So this one's a little bit on the longer side. That's okay, I'll just fold it over on itself. Zip tie that as well. Not really worried about interference there at all. Pretty well insulated, and it'll be away from the ESC. I'll zip it together, but not too tight. Don't want to crush the wires on the inside. Beautiful. Then I'll just cut all the extras off. If you're still with me and you want a tip, I'm going to be using some side cutters here just to cut the zip ties off. Try to cut them as close to the base as you can, and try to cut them on a straight edge, because these son of a guns can be so sharp. How many hobbyists out there watching right now have actually cut themselves on cut zip ties that they've done that were actually a little on the sharp side, hey? So many of us, I know that. So this will have a nice easy access and plug-in area to the battery, which is awesome. I'm super stoked. And overall, I'm pretty darn happy. Let's get it all mounted up and see what it looks like. Dry fit it. So the bracket goes up front. How is that going to go in? It actually screws into place. Interesting. Hey, wait a second. Hey, wait a second, what's going on here? It says there's supposed to be another screw hole in there. What's going on? Wait a second, what's going on here? Shows that we're supposed to be screwing in these two screws into this chassis with two 8mm screws in on each side. But I only see one hole. Here, look at. There's the piece you're supposed to cut out, but then there's two. Both are numbered the same. Some motors may require the removal of the shaded area for clearance. Okay, 8mm by 32mm long. And then this one's the same thing. Most motors may require removal of the shaded area for clearance. Well, that's not helpful. It's the same. At least they had some instructions. I go back on my word of this being great instructions. It looked like it, and it certainly did help with a lot of it, but it seems that it's missing maybe a sheet or maybe a misprint. What the hell of it's going on there? Let's just get these out of the way and have a look at it. Just gonna see if I can hand drill a little bit. I don't want to go too wide and strip it out, so I'll just use my fingers to kind of turn the drill bit. Yep, it's grabbing. Good. Now again, the reason I'm mounting it up on the back here is so I can have a look at the front to mark those properly where I need to drill out the frame. And it threaded itself in there. Very nice. Time to get the compressor and the vacuum. No one likes an aluminum sliver. Ta-da! There it is, all mounted up. So it wasn't too bad. I could have drilled another hole for that cross member beam in the back, but I really didn't need to. The only holes I really needed to do were for that mounting brace up front, and I just had to do one hole on either side. So as you can see, I've got a lot of work to do, but not too much. I just have to have the motor soldered up properly. I've got to attach the steering horns, kind of line up the trim on that. But overall, that stance for a mount kit is actually really, really good. I'm happy with that. Look at this. Not too bad. Now it looks like I could have some rubbing right here. Look at this. but actually it clears just fine with the 1.9s on there. Everything seems very solid. I don't feel like it's, you know, on there in a flimsy way. Those two screws back there, all I had to do was ream out the plastic holes that held on part of the bumper area. Everything else went back in place. I did not have to use obviously the extra drive shaft extension there for the transfer case, as well as a new mounting kit for the transmission. Not sure why it's in there, but I know other people out there do, so if you needed it, there you know, you can get it in that package. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I know it was a little bit of a tedious video, but so many people have been waiting for me to run this truck. And one of the holdups I had was actually getting a hold of a proper mounting kit so I could rep this truck in the way that I want to and roll out on a cool RC adventure. But regardless, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Hopefully I earned a like click from you for the efforts of putting this on camera and you enjoyed the show. And my friend, like I always say, get outside and enjoy the hobby of RC. And if it's stormy like it is for me today, stay inside, work on your RCs, flip on an RC adventure and start wrenching on your trucks, because as soon as it's sunny out, you're able to go and have some fun. See you later, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.